welcome to another month. You are here with the Peak Wellness Hour to bring in another month of this year. Queen, I think we do this very often. I think a lot of our broadcasts hit on that first Saturday of the first day of the month. I've seen that a couple times this year. And so it's an honor to be with you all to start the month out right. We cannot wait to dive into part two of this conversation, enhance intimacy in older adulthood. So without further ado, we're a little late, of course, but we're here and we're glad you're here too. So hit that like button, hit share, subscribe if you have not, and we're going to get started with this conversation. Yes, happy Saturday. Welcome to the Peak Wellness Hour. Doesn't this queen look beautiful? You look beautiful, queen. I love your lighting.
Yeah, I know,
I
right? Good
love it. I
morning.
love
Good
it. I am
morning.
certainly
Good
got to switch
morning.
my lighting.
I'm gonna distract you a little bit. I don't think I finished sharing it to my wall, so what do I do? Pre-broadcast, I got distracted and didn't finish. So
No, you're fine. Does it let you stream? Does it say stream still, or
I
does it say edit?
started doing the stream, but I didn't finish it. So now I don't see it. Let me see.
Okay.
You know what? I think it says I'm live
I see one of them.
on YouTube, but my Facebook page no.
Will it let you edit? Well, give
Yes.
us a second. If you edit, you should be able to add.
Yes.
Okay. So while Queenie is doing that, give her a second. Grand
I
Rising, Queen
think I
Captain
got it.
P.
Thank you.
Did you add it? I see it. Okay. Yes. How are you, Queen? Good to see everybody here. I guess we can just dive into this conversation. We were here last weekend. We had two special guests, Brian and Gloria Carter, and got started with the conversation with um, intimacy, enhanced intimacy in older adulthood. We actually just celebrated Gloria's birthday last night. So if you all are on Facebook and you follow her, make sure you give her a shout out. She's looking lovely over there. We had a great time. So happy birthday to her. Happy birthday to all the July birthdays. We celebrated my queen sisters here July 7th. So whole lot of birthdays in July. We've got a lot of good stuff coming up in August as well. So let's talk about it. Queen, you want to bring us in?
Hello, friends and family. Listen. You are alive. Don't forget that. You are alive. And I pray that by the mercies of God, you are healthy. Even if not to the point you need to be, at least you can breathe, you can walk, you can talk, you can see, you can hear. You probably have some family that love you, some friends that truly care. You probably have work colleagues. You have a roof over your head. Listen, there is hope. There is hope, and this is my way of bringing you in today. There is hope for life. There is hope for your future as long as you do not give up. There is hope. Okay, now intimacy in adulthood. Okay, we're excited to continue this conversation. Oh, Queen Gloria, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. We are most thankful for you and your husband and how you blessed us last week. You guys were amazing. The stories. I'm so sorry I missed towards the end, but I went back and I enjoyed it and laughed my heart out throughout. So thank you, thank you, thank you. As much as we wish you'd be here today, we know you have a life, and it wasn't given to you by Peak Wellness Hour. So thank you for being here last weekend. Every time you're available, I will be more than glad to have you here. And to all our friends and family out there, listen, it's not only Queen G and I who have something to say. We know you do. So we would like to invite you. We'd like to have you on this broadcast. If this is something you're interested in, not every week, but if a topic interests you, share it and let's talk about it. And to the beautiful lady who gave us this topic, it must be important to you. We wish you were here, but we appreciate that you are not able to. But we are looking forward to seeing your comments and your contributions in the comment section as well. So let's jump in, share this video, go like our YouTube page, like our Facebook page, follow, and let's push this forward. Thank you, and Queen.
All right. So yes, so Black Love 17 or Queen Lynn, as I call my friend, brought this conversation up. And it was interesting because the Carters did it so well, like Queen Eve said last week, and they did it so well breaking down all aspects of intimacy in relationships, and not just marriages and monogamous relationships, but they touched on just inner circle relationships also, but really speaking on marriage and monogamous. I'll say one-on-one monogamous relationships. It's what did they do? We had some emotional, we had some spiritual intimacy, we had financial intimacy, all sorts of things. I can run down the list and look at it, but I know the request was originally. So I'm glad we dived into all of this, which is why we have a part two. The request was to understand enhance intimacy in adult adulthood when it
Psychological,
comes to
spiritual,
mhm,
physical,
what you got?
emotional. Yep.
It was a few of them.
I think
I feel like I'm
seven.
missing a
Seven.
couple. I'm gonna look real quick because I had them down. I feel like I'm missing a couple, and
So
I'm going back over them because sometimes we don't think about the significance of all these, relationship. How intimacy plays into our relationships. So you had emotional, physical, intellectual. That's what I was thinking of. Intellectual intimacy, spiritual intimacy, recreational intimacy. So it was quite a few things that we touched on last week. So if you did not see that, you definitely want to go back and watch that. The Carters are such a fun couple, and they give such real raw insight. So definitely go back and watch that. But the request was to even go so far as to touch on, with all due respect in the conversation, the importance of maintaining physical intimacy and compatibility in adulthood. So I guess that's where we're going to take it, and we'll mesh all the other things into. So
could be wrong, but
what? What'd you say?
I said I could be wrong.
I doubt it. I doubt it. Go ahead, take it. You want to take it? Psychological. I missed the psychological one. Yep, you get. Yep, there you go. Take it. You want to take it?
Yes. So last week, these are some of the things they shared. They shared their story. They shared the different stages of their lives. If you missed it, go and look at it. They shared from when they first began the marriage and as they progressed, as they aged, to the fact of denials. You need glasses. No, I don't need glasses.
Jamal's.
I can see all right. And then a strategic woman didn't fight, didn't argue, right? She just takes him to a place and gave him a menu with our glasses. Meanwhile, she's armed with, showing him that you need glasses, right? And all the different ways that intimacy is achieved. But let me read what I have written here. We want to continue this conversation today. If you've been married so long and you're getting to a point where marriage is becoming dull, and you think intimacy is only being able to be physical, right? Being able to be physical. And at this point, it is not as ecstatic, it's not as vibrant, it's not as sweaty and HOT as it used to be. Listen, there is more to intimacy than what we do in the bedroom, right? Intimacy is a connection. It's a connection that stems from I see you naked. And I don't mean literally, I mean figuratively naked. And I love every bit of you. True intimacy is I've been with you for so long and I still can't take my eyes off you. Every time I hear your voice, it still does it for me. That is not butterflies. That is a choice. Okay. And this morning, I just want to come from a place that speaks to me and also probably many others. Okay. We are in an era where there's been so many divorces. Am I speaking to someone? So many divorces that we are meeting spouses or getting into relationships or even getting married in our 50s and 60s and late 40s and even 70s. I know a couple whose their their spouses died. They used to work together. They were couple friends, and in their almost 80, they got married. The man, I used to take care of his wife, okay, as a caregiver. They moved. He drove from Indiana. This man was, I think, 78 at that time. He drove from Indiana and moved to California to marry a woman who was 2 years older than him, 80 years. That is what I call love. That is what I call it's never over. Love doesn't only have to be when you're in your teenage years and 20s. And no, you can still find love if you're willing to live. Life is for the living. If you've given up, then you can't live. But the point is, you get so you've already had your babies as a woman, and I'm speaking to no, not only the women, the men have problems too, but I'm speaking to the women in this situation. Your belly's probably hanging over your crotch, right? Can I say that? Yeah. Okay, your boobs are not as they're looking down to the earth. They're like, leave me alone, I'm tired, right? And and I'm trying to make it funny, but she's not laughing, so obviously my humor is not being heard. But it's so dry. But my point is, what do you do? Would you be comfortable? Are you comfortable in your bed? Is it possible to achieve that level of intimacy where we are both naked and unashamed? That's the angle I want to come from. If you are a senior and you are single and you haven't given up on love, are you feeling threatened that I'm going to have this stomach surgery? I'm going to do this some of these BBL stuff just so that are you, because some things we just don't want the world to see.
Mhm.
I like to know. I like to know how confident you are in your body. You're showing another adult how come, because that's intimacy.
Mhm.
Intimacy, this is all I am and all I have and all I will probably ever be to you. Can you take it? Can it excite you?
Mhm.
In this case, what is intimacy? What is intimacy to you? Queen asked me a question two, is it 2 Fridays ago?
Probably.
What was the question? Do you remember?
I think we were talking about how we angle this conversation, and I don't. I remember the response. I don't remember the question.
You said something like, I just say sex is not a big deal to you. It would probably not be a big deal to some of us. And so you can find companionship, good
Mhm,
conversations, good friendship, good relationship. Go on, not make the sex a big deal.
mhm.
And I said, that's a lie. I said, that's a lie. I'm 59, almost 60. Yes, it is important to me. I want it to the very best of my spouse's ability. I want it all. I will. It's not unimportant to me. I will not be in a marriage where that will not be a thing. It will be a thing. I want it. I need it. I take it. Okay, so someone will say, we are not talking about sex, we are talking about love. We are talking about intimacy. So at
Mhm,
this age, what is intimacy at this age? To me, for Edith, it includes passionate lovemaking. It has to include passionate love. I am still such a strong word. My cousin says I'm a straight live wire. I am.
oh, I love it.
I am. I am. I am very much live and alive. It's crazy. Okay,
Mhm,
so yes, it's very important, but to each his own. If it's not important to you, it's not important to you. It's just intimacy includes being able to develop trust. Can you
mhm,
trust this person?
mhm,
Without trust, there can't be true intimacy because then you will not be exposed. Okay, intimacy is exposure. Okay, you will not be exposed because if you can't trust that person, then you can't allow yourself to be exposed. It includes feeling safe
mhm,
emotionally, safe enough not to be afraid, to be vulnerable. Okay,
mhm,
friendship, having a good friendship. Listen, friendships are rare. Friendships are true friendships are really rare. We say friend, friend, friend on a very casual level, but friendship is deeper than that. Somebody who can be your best friend. You can laugh at each other, laugh with each other, and not be offended and be able to talk about everything. Unfortunately, there are spouses who cannot share everything with their partners. It is
mhm,
true. It is true because they don't want to offend them or they don't want to. I know marital relationships where people would rather process everything with another person, not be free to be themselves.
mhm,
Okay, be yourself. And this can be achieved when we have achieved, can be done when we have achieved emotional maturity as
mhm.
well. Okay, honest communication. That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna put Queen G on the spot. Queen, can
Sure.
you tell your husband everything and anything?
I could. I could.
Really?
Do I? I mean, do I? I mean, I can say whatever. Should I? Do I? No. And I honestly think that that's a lot of that. That's most marriages. Sometimes I think that's just sometimes you need to have that closeness. You need to have that communication, that openness, that trust. But some things just don't need to be said sometimes. I'm not talking about keeping secrets or being deceptive. Some things, even when we are going through some things with, outside of things like with work or other friendships, some things just don't need to be said. Sometimes having conversations about certain things can be more, not certain things, but having certain conversations can be more, for me, irritating than not. If I'm dealing with something silly, and I'm talking about this thing and it's really not a big deal. I'm just in my feelings or in my thoughts and it's just something silly. that I really could have kept to myself. Now here's his opinion, and now I'm frustrated because I'm talking about something silly and unimportant. Just things like that. So I'll say that. No, I mean, yeah, mystery's nice between couples sometimes. Good, healthy
Okay, I
argument.
am not going to unpack this right here because
Ah,
you've given me a lot to unpack. If I
I
were
know.
sitting in front of you as a therapist, you've said
Gonna,
a lot to unpack
I'll
because
have a session later, y'all.
it goes back to emotional safety, emotional security. Because I am saying something silly, and now you're trying to solve and therefore I'm not bringing it because it's nothing, and you're making something out of it. And I'm not saying that is your situation, but
Right.
I'm saying I'm making just a general statement here,
Hmm.
and you wanna unpack it, okay? But okay, the next thing is shared experiences. Okay, shared experience, being able to share certain experiences. I'm not going to tell you to tell him your body count or tell her your body count, and on and on and on. You see, those are things. Some of the things you probably will never bring up, right?
But
Or
that
will
should be a
never talk
conversation that
about.
people do bring up if they're in a marriage. That's something that should be discussed. See, you see what I'm saying? How are we skipping that conversation? If I'm skipping a conversation or somebody skipping a conversation about some stupid Tom and Jerry skit or something, I don't know. Are we skipping the conversation? Those conversations are important, body counts and whatnot. Those things, you can't skip those. Okay, and I hate that term. I hate that
What
term.
do
It
you
sounds
mean?
so
What
dirty.
do you mean you can't skip those? So you get into a relationship. Queen Mother Randa,
You're
welcome and God
rising,
bless you. Thank
grandmother.
you for being here. Are you saying no? Explain that. I said you don't necessarily have to go share your body counts.
With your partner?
Yes.
What?
Why?
What? You don't tell somebody you're marrying how many people you've been with. Like not you, but people. That's not what people are supposed to do. I think you're supposed to disclose that. I I think.
For what though? You may talk about significant
Okay.
relationships, but in this culture of everybody
Mm-hmm.
jumping into bed with everybody, you think that people will be honest about it. Listen, if you can be truthful, don't lie to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's my point.
There you go. There you
If
go.
you
That's
can
what
be
I'm saying.
truthful,
Right. That's what
because
I'm saying.
once again, it's a thing of acceptance. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
in this culture where, yeah, in this culture, most people won't be truthful, right? And
Mm-hmm.
if the person has serious insecurity issues,
Mm-hmm.
right, it's a new phase. You
Mm-hmm.
have to demonstrate to a point that prior to even getting into anything serious, that you have learned discipline over the years. You've learned structure. You've come to appreciate that some things are too precious to be shared around. Okay, right. But if I've met somebody on the dating scene, I don't know what I should say. Let me say this. I've met people who are dating multiple people, and to them it's getting together and having sex.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so can you imagine how many people are you dating before you jump into a relationship with somebody? And this is a conversation, maybe this is a conversation for my Pastor Edith platform, because it's something I'm very passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you go to the store, and this is what I'm talking about: intimacy, having self-respect before you even meet the spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a thing of self-respect. if I don't respect me, it will be very difficult to respect you in the way, because I want to respect myself in a way that when I come to you, I'm giving you my best. My best is not only intellectually, my best is not only how I dress physically and the way I present myself. My best is what I have done in the private moments of my life to grow, to develop, to mature, to
Mhm.
learn from my mistakes, to become a better person in every sense of the word, physically, emotionally, psychologically, financially, every area.
Mhm.
Become, this is the peak wellness hour, right? Be well. You can't give pieces of you to everyone
Mhm.
or almost everybody you find attractive. And then, what peace are you bringing into this relationship? You haven't respected yourself enough. You haven't carried yourself enough. And that is important to this. And I say this to every single individual. We talk about bringing your best, a high valued man, a high valued woman.
Mhm.
It's not only about how much money you make,
Mhm.
or how much how many people you're able to influence on social media.
Mhm.
It is your lifestyle. Anyway, I don't want to get into it. Spiritual connection. Some people think that the fact that we go to the same church means we are connected spiritually. No, it goes beyond spiritual. It goes beyond serving the same God. At what level? In my life as a single woman, the past 5 to 6 years, and when I look at my development spiritually, I've met men. I've met men because I'm single, right? I'm single and I'm out there in the open. And of course, I would love to get into a relationship. But I've met men, and when I speak to them, we may connect in other areas, but when I speak to them, the level at which their relationship with God is, I can't. They're in church, but I can't. I can't. They are not where I am. I'm not saying I'm so high there, but I've come so far. Why would I want to go with somebody who is so low? Don't.
Mhm.
Because the person you choose to be in a relationship with, if you marry them, they are your head. They're thinking for you. And if the head of the head is not in Christ the way they need to be in Christ, then you are setting yourself up to fail. So these are some of the lessons I have had to learn, and it's not time to share them. I bring things up and I shorten it. I bring things up and I say, laughter, being able to laugh with each other, having compassion with each other. These are the things that make sexual intimacy. We forgot sexual intimacy. That makes sexual intimacy deep and meaningful. I will
Mhm.
end here. Let Queen continue. Take over from whatever I said. Do whatever. I'm sorry,
This is an
friends.
interesting one. And I'll say this, I'm sorry you all, because I'm trying to watch these comments, right? And we're all family here. In some sense, all of us that get together every Saturday, and we really appreciate it. But I try to watch these comments, and only once, maybe twice, I hiccuped and just hit buttons to let people's comments up, and I'm trying to read. So I'm sorry, I've been distracted.
I'm
um
not seeing
Read
the
these horrible
comment.
comments. I've blocked them and they've been banned because they're inappropriate comments. So if I've been looking distracted over here, I've got 3 different people that I've had to ban. I don't even know these people. So I'm sorry for being distracted over here because I have been the past 10 minutes listening to this foolishness. So anyhow, back on this conversation. This is a mature conversation, okay? So anybody that's listening, this is a mature conversation. Every conversation that we have on the Peak Wellness Hour is to enhance and empower the lives of self and others. Okay, so just know that when we're having conversations here, these are mature adult conversations. If you have young children in the room, this is not going to be a conversation where it's going to be inappropriate. Okay, so
Is it inappropriate?
yeah, I'm not gonna, yeah, they are.
I said some inappropriate stuff.
No, no, I'm talking about the comments in the comment section. People typing stuff in the comment section. No, not you. I'm
Oh,
in the
okay.
comment section. No, so I'm just letting everybody know that nobody's here for that. So no, you didn't say anything.
Interesting. I wonder what they're saying. I wish I had
I'll
seen.
tell you when we're done. It's I'll tell you when we're done. So, anyways, I don't even know where to go with this. You said something about laughing together and just setting up that platform for intimacy with your partner. And sometimes I think we rush to things where we want this right now moment or experience, those googly eyes, of the butterflies in your stomach or whatnot. But a lot of times, especially as we get older, especially as for those that have been in relationships for a long period of time, we get complacent. People get complacent with
Mm.
those relationships, so finding those ways, like you were saying, Queen, finding those ways to enhance your relationships is so important, and keeping it spicy, even in conversation. That's what I was saying earlier. Sometimes, especially if I'm busy all week, and my King's busy all week, we're working, then we have the weekend. I'm here on Saturday mornings, all these things. Sometimes certain things, where I can say something silly just because it just comes up. I was not saying that it's not something that can be shared, but sometimes just making sure what conversations have, what's the setup here to where we can just groove and just move into that intimate part. And I'm not just talking about sexually, just move into an intimate conversation, move into intimate foreplay, even with the mind. When there are conversations coming about, we talked about, what did you put it up, financial intimacy.
Intelligent.
When rent comes, when's first of the month, how's that conversation going? We got to pay rent, right? We know we have to pay bills. What are we doing? Where can we plan to just get away for a weekend? Even if we don't go far, can we get away to Chicago? Can we get away downtown? What can we do? And we're talking about saving money. Well, we spend money here. Okay, what can we do to where this is not a financial strife, intelligent wise, reading books together. We talked about the book club here forever now, but we, like my husband and I, we like to sit and watch. We binge watch on the weekends a lot. What about reading books together and up in your intellect and having those conversations? That's what I was meaning earlier, as far as with just investing in the things that we're pouring out. I mean, it's okay that you should be able to share things, but that complacency, sometimes for me, it leaves me a little giddy and a little silly. Like I'm always playful. So sometimes just learning when to, again, set that scene up for that interest, for that touching of the hand and the looking at one another, the touching of the hair, and just embracing one another is something that a lot of people in long-term longevity relationships tend to overlook a lot of times. So just finding ways to do those things where you're actually communicating. You're not just, like I said, we can binge watch on the weekend because we work hard all week, but doing something different. You all know I love Gaia, the Gaia app, watching something intellectually there and having a conversation, just being present with one another, really present, where we're not just here, we're present. That is so important for intimacy, I believe. And a lot of times you can be in the room with someone, but you're not present. And so just getting that to that point where we always recognize the importance of the presence of our partners. I think sometimes being a nurse, I can't imagine losing a spouse. And I can't imagine losing my king. I can't imagine what people go through losing a spouse, especially when we're older, when we've been in this thing for decades, half our lives, and that loss that comes with that, and having to find yourself again. That's a big deal, I think, with a lot of older people with intimacy. And then, are you? When do you start back over? When do you reintroduce yourself into relationships? Do you do that thing? A whole lot of things go into adulthood, older adulthood intimacy than just sex. Is my point. So you like you're thinking.
One of the things that just came to mind is I went back in my mind to listen to Queen Gloria and King, and a lot of intimacy, the different intimacy changes and probably should, I say, should deepen with the different stages of life. Okay, here is a beautiful, single, slender, flat bellied young woman who just who got pregnant and had babies and realizes that she can get back into the body she used to be. Right now, she is beginning to not feel like I like me right now. I like my body right now. I want us to talk about this because this social media thing, as much as it has its perks. Look at the commercials. Look at what they're showing to women, to girls. Your body is not good enough. Have that back lift, smoothing those thighs, have that breast, whatever, have that stomach, flatten that stomach. It tells you that what you look like naturally, even if you are exercises and doing all that, whatever it is, because with every stage, there's a level, a difficulty level. And not everybody can achieve that a certain level of perfection. And intimacy, couples are losing, and I'm focusing on couples, okay? Couples are losing intimacy. By the time they're hitting 40s and 50s, they have grown apart rather than grow deeper together. And it's so important that we recognize some of the things that are causing this lack of friendship. Number one, I say friendship has not been developed. Love has not graduated from the initial physical attraction, the initial, ooh, when I look at you, to I choose you on a daily basis. You are still beautiful. You have becoming the woman, or you are the man I married. We've been through life in the sense. Okay, the model I'm using is what we had last week. And if you missed last week, go back to it. Okay, when times change, when stages of life change, how do we continue to deepen the intimacy level? And the things I listed earlier: trust, emotional safety, friendship, spiritual connection, mutual respect, all of those things, compassion. The Bible tells men to live with their wives with some level of with understanding. Let me not make it my own, with understanding. Okay, so body shaming is not, it's not a thing. Body, oh no, I'm sorry, phone calls. Okay,
You
so
want to
we
take that?
body shaming.
You didn't take it? Does it work?
No, no,
Okay.
that was a phone call. I
Okay.
can't say. Okay, we need to learn. I want us to think about the word self regard. Okay, the way you see yourself, you as an individual. We're talking about intimacy still. You as an individual, you're worth more than what you appear physical. I'm not saying don't take care of yourself. I'm not saying let yourself go. I'm not saying any of those, because your body is the temple of the living God, and make the best out of it. If you're not a Christian, whatever your body is, this whatever your body is to you. Okay, I can only speak from my perspective. Okay, but your body is the temple of the living God. Take good care of it so it will serve you the longest in its best form. But I'm saying that learn to regard yourself. There's stages of life for a reason. You are not your boobs, you are not your bat, you are not your ability to perform. You understand what I'm saying? Men are being sold all kinds of drugs. For what? Causing heart attacks. You understand? Doing what you have not physically trained your body to do. And it's hurting people in these relationships. It's hurting them. It's impacting whatever what we call intimacy. Because when we think intimacy, we only think physical and sexual. Okay. So true intimacy begins long before the bedroom. What have we built? What have we built? All these years we've been together, or all these times we've been courting and dating, what level of intimacy have we developed outside of sex, outside of physical touch? This is important. I can't stress this enough. It does not begin in the bedroom, it ends there. It deepens there, it climaxes there, but it does not begin there. Queen G said, developing intellectual intimacy. Developing. It's a put off, okay? When you're talking to someone who is supposed you perceive you perceive as being at a certain level, and you're having a real intellectual discussion, and they don't know what you're talking about, you become frustrated. So if you are not on that level, it will be very difficult to achieve intimacy, because very soon you begin to look down on this person. A person that is not looking to grow but is stuck in their ways. I am old school. I am this, I am that. And what they mean is, I'm not learning anything new. I don't care what is going on. I don't care. I don't want to know. It's my old ways. In my growing up, women go to the kitchen, women cook, women clean, women do this, women do that. It's over. That's what you do. I am the head of this wire, like this home, whatever. My word is final. How do you feel emotionally safe with such a person to even express yourself?
You know what, Queen? But do you hear what you just said? Like, what was happening is, though, when you are not when you're not connecting those dots in all those areas, where'd it go? Back to this: when you're not connecting those dots in all those areas, the lack in another area can be detrimental. So intellectually, if there's a huge disconnect, sometimes even a slight disconnect, it is going to affect the bedroom. Your financial disconnect is going to affect, your emotional, all these different things. It's a snowball effect if you don't get those in check. So when we're thinking about physical intimacy, all those things have to go in play, and all those things have to have their places. And I won't say that it's never a 50-50 thing, but you have to know where you stand in a relationship. You have to know who you are standing on your own 2 feet, but where you stand in a relationship, what you can and cannot tolerate, what you will and will not tolerate. And a lot of us get into relationships where we have no understanding of that, and we either jump from relationships or we stay in unhealthy relationships because we don't know any better. So
So basically, the point is that intimacy does not begin in the bedroom; it begins in the conversations.
absolutely.
And as you get older, it should deepen. Even if as you get older, single, you meet somebody who is older around your age group, you should be able to have a deeper connection because you're
Mm-hmm.
matured enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, intimacy is being seen, really seen, looked at. Like you're looking at him, she's looking at you, and they can see right through you, into you. Even when you say something, they're reading in between the lines. They hear you. They get you. That word, I get you. You see, in the Bible, they use the word Know, and Abraham knew his wife, and Isaac knew his wife, on and on and on. Right? Intimacy is that is intimacy, to know you, not to believe, not to think, not to hope, but to know. That is a whole different level, to know you. And I want to come to say this. It begins with you knowing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Intimacy begins when you get to the point where you know yourself enough to know what will work for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When we don't do this homework before we get into relationships, we get issues. But unless you're willing to grow, unless you're willing to learn, unless you're willing to change. Okay, not somebody changing you, but
Mm-hmm.
you change, working to become the better version. And those are the things that make you a better spouse in your older age. You may be divorced, you may be widowed, you may be never have, never been married. But the question is, in all those single years, in all those widowhood years, in all those divorce years, what have you done with yourself? Are you still holding on to the things that you suffered, or the things you had to deal with, the immature self, and holding on to the old story? Or you were doing better for yourself? Getting to last week we said something. Some people are even afraid to sit with themselves alone. I've met people who can live a day without being in some kind of relationship, having some kind of sexual connection with another person. They can't do that for one day. They are uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable. How? If we don't do our homework, we can't achieve intimacy. If you are not willing to grow, we can't achieve intimacy. A prayerful partner, if you're spiritually connected, a power couple, spiritual couple who are connected on all these levels. Because one of the things that break marriages is finances. It's finances. We can't talk about money. I don't want to put my money with your money. You can't. I can't tell you what I earn. We can't discuss the bills. We are constantly fighting. Oh, we are broke. I don't know where your money is going. You don't know where my money is going. We are broke. We don't have spiritual health. We can't bring spirit. I said financial health. We can't talk about finances. We are covering. You see where when you begin to cover and hide things. You're hiding your shopping. Hey, you send the I shop and I send the boxes to Queen G's house. I go to Queen G's house, pick up my boxes, remove all the things from it, put it in a small bag, and bring it home. Oh wait, what is this? Oh, Queen G, when hiding it, hiding your addiction, shopping addiction, hiding your gambling addiction, hiding your whatever it is, hiding it. How do we hide these things and expect intimacy? So the question is, are you achieving through true intimacy? Being able to have those hard conversations.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's in how we say it. It's in how we say these things. So if I say to Queen Edith, you never spend time with me. You never spend time with me. We do the broadcast every Saturday, but you never spend time with me.
True.
Versus saying, I miss hanging out with you. I miss spending time with you. It sounds different. And so that goes with relationships too, where we put things off on our partners, or we lack accountability. And a lot of times we lack accountability and self awareness, to where it seems as though we're putting those things off on our partner. And sometimes we are, so hey, babe, you never spend time with me. You're always busy. I like it when we're not so busy. I like it when we hang out together. Um, doing things like checking in, daily. Checking in. My husband calls me all the time. We work together. He calls all the time, just checking in on you. Be safe. Just want to tell you I love you. And I love that. I think that's awesome. Um,
That's intimacy right there.
it is definitely. It warms my heart. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's thinking about me. After almost 20 years, but it matters. And it just makes you feel good.
Can I salute? Can I salute?
Yes, yes, yes. So talk about things you can improve, things that, talk about how you can support one another. Talk about how you're great, what you're grateful for in relationships. But conversations should not be something difficult. Communication should not be difficult all the time. You should be able to just communicate freely with your partner. They'll say some things are just not important. Yeah, I can share those things, but what a waste. Let's be intentional about what we're invested in. You know, what seeds we water. Be very intentional about it.
And relationships are really changing these days when you look online. I mean, the basic principle, the basic foundation of relationship is the same, but the dynamics of our everyday interacting is changing.
Mm-hmm.
And learning the skill of communicating.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, if I don't know how to communicate, and I say, you don't spend as much time with me anymore. If we have been together a while and you know me intimately, why don't you just say that you miss me? Why don't you just say it? But why do you come say you don't spend time with me? I spend time with you. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. You tell me you miss me. You understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, intimacy. You see into me so much you know me. When you see me going around the house and suddenly I'm cleaning nothing that needs to be cleaned and I'm cooking, and this is me. When I'm stressed, I'm frustrated, I'm angry, and I don't know how to, speak. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm busy.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a man who knows me enough, he knows there's something going on. Either I'm going to leave her alone, maybe she needs a moment, maybe I'll go to the kitchen and give her a big bear hug. And it's when we've come to know each, like Queen Anne Gloria said, maybe, I don't remember how she put it, she knew her husband needed glasses, right? She told him, "Nope, I don't need glasses. I can see. Well, okay, fine, no worries. You can see good. Let's all. It's okay. No issue. She got herself some glasses. She goes out. That is so wise wisdom. She goes to the
Mm-hmm.
store. They go to a restaurant. She makes sure they sat in a place where normally, if you can really see, you can read, but he couldn't see. She didn't have to, use my glasses. She didn't fight him. She didn't make him feel belittled. She didn't say, I told you so. Right? Tact, tact,
Mm-hmm.
skill. I told Queen G, I miss spending time with you today. You're coming. You're coming to that Ghana in Indiana. What are we doing? Picnic today. Ghanaians Indiana having picnic today. We are invited. Oh yeah.
Oh, I
All
did
right. You got it. You got it. You got it. So there'll be a lot of games, and this morning I gave you a little bit of the dances. I will be dancing. So we are inviting you. Come and have fun with us. The information is right there. It's also on my wall.
Yes. If you can't see, the address is 2700 West 116th Street. And it's on Facebook for you all, um, in Carmel, Indiana. Here's the funny thing about this, Queen. I miss spending time with you. Because I'm at Gloria's party, Queen Gloria's dinner last night, and it's always an intimate time when we all get together. It's always very intimate, and dining. You all know about dining. It is a very intimate thing to do together. So we're sitting there, and She says, "Well, are you going to Queen Edith's thing tomorrow?" I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Are you going?" I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Going what?" And so I'm looking at, and this Sunday. Sunday, you've got, Wednesday Bible study, you got Sunday, you got something else. I'm like, this? She says, no. She says, how don't you know? She says, this is your partner. She said, you know what the deal is? She said, I think.
Queen and Glory, I love you. I love you. I love
Right.
you. I
She
love you more right now.
she said, she says, well, apparently, Queen Eve and I are more closer to age, and you can just be the daughter.
I know, right?
I said, you know what? I will not be baby like this. I am responsible. She said, well, you can be the younger sister then. She's like, it's no. She's like, how do I know more? She's just telling everybody at the table. So don't embarrass me. And then my cousin's there. Shout out to Chantel. She says, oh, yeah, her broadcast partners. Yeah. I'm like, what is happening here? So you are
Yeah.
very relevant amongst my people that are now your people.
Yeah. So
Yes,
are
I
you
think she's crazy.
coming?
She's taking over. Yes. Now, I don't know if she'll be there, but I will definitely be there. So yes, yes, yes.
We're gonna
Yes.
have fun. We're
30.
gonna have a lot of fun.
When I saw the Jollof rice, you had me at Jollof rice, honey.
Well, there will be a lot of food.
You know I love food. You know I do.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of food. Come and eat. Come and dance. Come and play our games. We have some very interesting games. Games that you will only find in Ghana. I won't even say Africa, Ghana. We have some interesting board games, and yep,
That's
it's
what's
gonna be
up.
fun. There's gonna be barbecue, fried plantains. Aha, I can wait.
Oh, I am there. All my life, I'm there.
Be there. Be there.
Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, that.
Veronica has already told me what I'm wearing.
What am I wearing? What are you wearing? What am I wearing?
I'm
We're gonna talk
wearing just a dress, a simple
about.
dress with sneakers. You can
Oh
wear jeans, you can wear shorts. Be comfortable. At the end of the day, what you want to be is comfortable. It's a park.
yes, yes, yes,
Don't
yes.
wear high heels. It's
Oh,
a
I'll do
park.
it.
Take the opportunity to enjoy the weather. And if it rains, it rains. We are not salt. We are
We
not.
realize you got shelter out there, yeah.
Yeah, there's shelter.
Yeah, I see that shelter. Okay.
There's shelter. There's a splash pad for the kids. There are
Okay.
restrooms. You can do fishing. It's gonna be. I've never been to a social event like this in over 15 years.
That's awesome. So yeah,
If they
you
hadn't given me, if they haven't given me an executive position, I probably won't be going. I'll be sitting here working. So I'm glad I'm being pushed to do what I do.
she's always working. Always working. That's
I'm gonna
awesome.
sit here. It's end of the month, but the question, the point is, we're gonna end this, okay, Queen? I'm gonna let you say what you have to say, and I'm gonna end this.
Yes, let's. I don't have much. I think you've had this conversation quite well. I will tell you really quickly, and I'll be done. We do have this Gaia video. If you go on the website peakwellnesshour.com, www.peakwellnesshour.com, this one is only a 10-minute video, and it's talking about. Let me show you all the chemistry of intimacy, and how might oxytocin, commonly known as the love hormone, play a role in enhancing bone density, supporting anti-aging efforts, and reducing stress. So that's kind of what that's talking about. But it's a 10-minute long video. The link is in the description on the Facebook and YouTube page. It's also in the comment section at the very top. But if you go to our website, you can see that. And it'll be there for you all to watch. And I think I've picked some really good ones that I've not seen them. So when I share them with you all, I do so because it's fun to watch them together, and get some insights. So some of them might be better than others. I don't know. I've not come across anything on Gaia that I have not liked. So you all check that out. Um, and yeah, and we can talk about it, I guess. So that's all I have for you all. It's been a great conversation. Thank you, Queen. Go ahead.
Friends and family, take care of your body. I know that intimacy does not begin with only the physical, but being healthy is important. It helps. I'll say that. Let me say that first and get it out of the way. Okay. But real intimacy is not having a perfect body. It's not only about the bedroom. It begins with developing knowledge of the person you are getting into a relationship with. Deep rooted knowledge. Getting to know them and you opening yourself up to be known. Okay, if there is work to be done and they truly want you and love you, they're gonna walk the journey of growth with you. Nobody is perfect, but we can work together and be better. That is intimacy. That is me knowing you and all the part about you. That is me coming exposed to you and not being ashamed. Somebody once said to me that in Genesis they said they were naked and not ashamed. But in 2026, we are fully clothed and shameful. What are you hiding? If you're hiding it, then you know there's work to be done. And I'm not talking about your physical body, I'm talking about the credit card debts that you have. In America, I'm talking about your credit score because other countries do it differently. There was nothing like credit score in Ghana. I didn't hear that. Okay? We're talking about your binge eating that you don't want anybody to see. When we go out, we'll take a little food and a little spoon and pretend we don't eat. When we come back home, we can begin. Listen, we all have something we would like to hide. But if you're in a relationship where you don't feel like you can open up and share, maybe you need to question it. If you can't pray together with each other and for each other, there are things, okay? True intimacy, the best of intimacy is achieved when we can be open, exposed, vulnerable, be ourselves, and still know that we are safe and secure with this person. Remember that that person also is not coming perfect. So, if we are hiding anything, let's talk about it. Let's deal with it. Let's begin the work before we even get to that point so that we can have the best in our relationships because we want to keep them. We want to be true and long in our marriages. Okay? So I say this to you in closing, and I'm going to my notes. As we grow older, we better stop chasing perfection and start embracing connections. And that's what is missing in many relationships. The deepest intimacy happens when someone sees all of that and still chooses to walk beside you. It is an authentic heart, not a flawless body. So do the work that is needed and begin to find the one who truly sees you, all of you, for you, who you are. If you haven't found them, if you have found them too and it seems dull, it can always be rekindled. Start sharing jokes, start laughing, start apologizing, start saying, listen, let's start all over again. Start going out on dates. Start holding hands. Start giving a peck on the cheek. When you know they're angry, start ignoring the anger and give them a hug and say, come on. Smile for me. Let's start small, but let's get there. Some marriages are worth saving. It's yours. Do the work. We love you, appreciate you. Go on and enjoy the intimacy you have. We love you. I'm done.
Peace, love, and blessings. Until next time. If you're in Indy, hope to see you at 2. Hope to see you at 2 if you are in Indy. Take care. Peace.
Love and blessings.
Yes.